Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start with Unawake. Story begins after nosy archaeologists have found some ancient city and the entrance to mysterious underground structures. Then someone in charge decided that you should go down and investigate what is happening. You know, why not? Let's send some dude into the unknown. What bad could ever happen, right? Well, at least they could have given you a few automatic rifles and a rocket launcher, you know, just in case, but they didn't. So you will have to hack and slash your way through hordes of undead, demons and other nasty stuff in this beautiful world made in Unreal Engine 5. So this is next generation in your face. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. You will explore a dangerous open world, journey through the desert sands, dive into a cavernous ruins and unveil the secrets that lie in the towering city of Dawn. The game is presented as a dark fantasy, story-rich, open-world hack-and-slash RPG where choices matter. All that sounds really cool. Here you will also have a cool foxish companion that allows you to fly for short moments of time. And in your arsenal you will have not only melee weapons but some firearms as well. Game will be released early next year, so keep an eye on it. Lies of P. You will struggle to become a real boy as you guide Pinocchio and experience his unrelenting journey to become a human. So basically here you are a puppet mechanoid and must fight through everything in your path to find this mystery person named Geppetto. But don't expect any help along the way and don't make the mistake of trusting anyone. Inspired by the familiar story, Lies of P is an action Souls-like game set in a dark and gloomy world. All of humanity is lost in a once beautiful city that now has become a living hell filled with unspeakable horrors, and you must always lie to others if you hope to become human. I'm not just reciting the story, lying is a huge part of the gameplay mechanic here. You will experience interconnected procedural quests that play out depending on how you lie. These choices will then affect how the story ends. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds cool. Nazralath, The Fallen World. This is a story-driven, third-person dark fantasy action-adventure RPG focusing on a compelling narrative and exploration through a rich, atmospheric world. Game is inspired by titles such as Planescape Torment and Dark Souls, meaning that you will be doing a lot of dialogue reading, will have to choose some difficult answers along the way, and in between you will die again and again and again. Game is also influenced by the twisted works of Zdzislaw Beksinski, just like a recently released horror title Scorn, although Scorn's art was also strongly influenced by H.R. Giger, and The Fallen World has strong emphasis on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Anyway, here you are a fallen knight. You awaken in a cold tomb in the bowels of creepy temple, with wounds that would have slain you 5 times over. Haunting dreams follow your thoughts, and your fragmented memory proves merciful enough for you to recollect your name. Well, it's something. Imagine all this gloominess, you lost your memory and suddenly you remember that your name is something like Bimble Schwampel or, you know, Fluffy Tard. That would definitely cheer you up. Fable 4. Not even a gameplay video of Fable 4 exists yet, but GeForce Now leaks suggest that this game will be released next year on October 12th. Also, I'm kinda surprised by the engine this game is using. It's Forza Tech, known to us as an engine Forza Horizon car racing games are based on, and I've heard that developers are having issues because of that. Gameplay mechanics team had designed for the project could not be adapted to work with Forza Tech engine. Well, who could have thought, right? Well, at least I hope that we can have some great horse or some other creature races in game. It would be a shame to not implement something like that when you are using a racing game engine after all. Well, let's wait for a gameplay and then we'll talk about it again. Project Witchstone. The game itself, as developers say, is based in a living and reactive world. You will be offered options to roleplay your character and influence the environment, thus capturing the freedom of pen and paper RPG campaign. You can manipulate and shape the world as you see fit, pitting NPCs against one another, incriminating whole factions and aligning powerful allies to your cause. The game offers you freedom to live the adventure you want. There is no overarching predefined story, your decisions will craft a world in which you will experience unique gameplay. To be honest, that sounds too good to be true, so take it with a grain of salt. The Lords of the Fallen. So you may think,
hey, this game was already released a long time ago.
But you are wrong, this is a different game made by the same creators, but they somehow decided not to name it Lords of the Fallen 2, they added V in the beginning instead. That is kinda confusing and I think it's a bad marketing idea, especially when the original Souls-like RPG game wasn't a hit or something. It has only 59% of positive review score on Steam, so deliberately associating your game with not so popular title is kinda weird. Why don't can't you name it, let's say, Lords of the Rising, or Kings of the Fallen, or Lords of the Fallen, the Goblin King, for example? I'm not even talking about Lords of the Fallen, Episode 1, Batman and Robin Resurrection of the Planet of the Apes. You know, you can still keep the link between the names if you really want. Anyway, the Lords of the Fallen will be 5 times bigger than the original one, but instead I would wish for a 5 times better game. You know, when your first game is not so good, you may want to make it better, not more of it. So let's hope for the best, maybe it will rock after all. Baldur's Gate 3. I won't be lying when I say that Baldur's Gate 3 was one of the best games I have ever played. Of course, I played the early access version, but the sheer amount of possibilities, different outcomes and freedom kinda put a spell on me. I honestly say that I wait for a full version of Baldur's Gate 3 way more than I wait for Starfield, for example. By the way, Baldur's Gate 3 is an open world game, you can go wherever you want, in any direction. Well, any direction not blocked by the mountains, and while you wander around you can stumble on amazing and creepy things, like a remote cabin in the woods where a polite old woman lives. You instantly know that this woman is not what she appears to be, and then you will try to provoke her with dialogue options to change into her true form. I will not spoil you these moments so you could have fun when the full game is released. I honestly cannot wait. Hogwarts Legacy. Well, I was never a huge Harry Potter fan because instead of Hogwarts, I was invited into a school of railroad transport alongside various gopniks of Vilnius. I never finished that school anyway, I never finished any school to be honest. That's why I am a YouTuber, sipping hot coffee in my bed with my laptop on my knees, and you are somewhere far away from home working for some dude who never pays you enough. Alright, I'm kidding, don't be mad, school is good, just not for me. Anyway, now when I am all grown up I can finally appreciate the magic of Harry's world, and I cannot wait until I can become a real wizard with a magic wand. Well, I already have a wand, as all men do, but sadly it's only good for Expelliarmus and not for other spells like Fetus Deletus. I would not like to say that Hogwarts Legacy is the game I'm waiting for the most. I already bought it, to be honest, don't do the same. Pre-ordering is stupid and I am stupid to fall for this over and over again. Broken Roads. This is a narrative-driven RPG that brings together exploration, strategic turn-based combat, and meaningful philosophical choices. This time it's post-apocalyptic Australia with authentic Australian locations and environments. So a land filled with spiders and koalas, as I see them from my Lithuanian perspective. In Broken Roads you control up to 6 party members and enjoy hand-drawn artwork. Though for me it looks a bit too cartoonish, I like more realistic dark environments, but hey, it's just me. Despite that, the game looks nice and it uses a unique morality system which is based on 4 areas of moral philosophy. This reminds me of Disco Elysium a bit, but don't get your hopes that high up. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This is one of the most anticipated games for Nintendo console owners, and the rest of the world can just cry in silence because there is no way that this game will ever reach any other platform. So it's obviously the sequel to Breath of the Wild, where in addition to the vast lands of Hyrule, the game will take you up into the skies and equip the main hero, which is a yellow-haired dwarf named Zelda, with many additional skills, weapons and armor to protect yourself from the corrupted beasts and evil in general. And if you are still not writing an angry comment about a dwarf Zelda, then kudos to you, that was a tricky joke and you didn't fall for it. He's actually named Link and he's awesome. And speaking about links, if you press 1 in the description below, you will go straight into GOG Gaming Sale and can explore many discounted games. Maybe the one you are looking for is super cheap right now. Atlas Fallen. Here you'll glide the sands of a timeless sand filled with ancient dangers, mysteries and fragments of the past. You will hunt legendary monsters using powerful shape-shifting weapons and devastating sand-powered abilities in spectacular, super-powered combat. So I guess this game is heavily inspired by the Monster Hunter series, and if you like those, keep an eye on Atlas Fallen as well. You can play the game in co-op mode as well and hunt monsters together with your friend or your mother-in-law. Although I can see that among the tags of Atlas Fallen on Steam you can't find an open world, so I guess this will be kinda linear game. It's a good thing for those who always get lost. Ravenbound. This game looks so good it's almost too good to be true. And sadly it is, despite being a single-player open-world exploration RPG where you swing your sword like the most experienced switcher left and right, this game has one feature you probably wouldn't like. It's a roguelike game. Yeah, meaning that you will die and die and die, and those deaths will make you stronger. Usually in roguelike games you are going the same path again and again, just with all the weapons and other gear you collected before you decided to feed the worms. But this is an open world, so I wonder, can you choose to go go to another direction every time? If so, that may not be such a bad thing after all. Monomyth. I am putting Monomyth on my list as a game that will be coming out very soon since 2019, so don't get your hopes very high up. Despite that, I must say that updates on the development are very frequent, the game is alive and kicking. So here within the ruins of Lysandria, you will find a highly interactive environment filled with items, puzzles, monsters and a variety of peaceful inhabitants. Talk to characters using a detailed keyword dialogue system and combine items to interact with your surroundings in unorthodox and explorative ways. Trade, pick locks, break doors, disarm traps or throw objects. You can even bake bread. Maybe you can even make a potato salad. Also, you can download the demo version from Steam absolutely free and test the game before the release. Gothic 1 Remake. Our beloved Gothic games are being reborn once again. You will return to the colony, rediscover the world of the mining town, its secrets and its challenges. I must stress out that this is not a simple remaster, you know, where everything just gets HD sugarcoating and more modern looking visuals. No, this is a complete remake, meaning that they are creating the game from scratch with a modernized combat system and other cool things we are used to having in nowadays games. Well, let's hope that this remake will be way better than the kinda lame already released playable teaser version. Great graphics is just one side of the coin, the other two sides are the story and gameplay itself. Yeah, development coin has three sides, just deal with it. Starfield. If you crossbreed Star Wars with Skyrim and then add some Mass Effect in it, you will get Starfield. I'm not kidding, this is the most accurate description I could think of so far. And I love Skyrim, Star Wars and Mass Effect, so I kinda hope that Bethesda will deliver a good quality game. I hope that they learn from Cyberpunk 2077 failure. I hope every company who make AAA games learned from Cyberpunk, but I'll be honest, I believe in Bethesda. I like every single player game made by them, and even if they are a bit buggy, I had so much fun playing them. Starfield itself is set 300 years into the future, and its explorable land will be 12 times bigger than Skyrim. I won't believe that until I explore it all. Dragon Age Dreadwolf. The development started in 2015. It was intended to be a smaller, more narrative-focused game than the other Dragon Age games, but problems with the development of BioWare's other games like Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem led to repeated interruptions. So after Andromeda flopped, they just cancelled the game altogether and resumed the production only in 2018. They planned a lot of multiplayer content in it, and then Anthem flopped. So after a while, after seeing the success of the single-player game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they stripped all the multiplayer content away from the game, and that when the Dreadwolf's production took off at a fast pace. Anyway, Solus will be an antagonist and you will probably be able to kick his ass, so all good in that field. Diablo 4. Definitely one of the most anticipated titles, a next-generation action RPG set in a fully realized open world. Here you will be able to fully customize your hero, change the beard, hair, gender or skin color without any problems. Good thing is that the game is gory. You will see dead bodies everywhere with the intestines splattered all over the place. Blizzard is known for desexualizing and degorifying its characters and games, so I'm glad to see that the gore is still left. But you never know for how long. In trailers we see one thing, and in reality we might be running over flower fields instead of bloody pools, and Blizzard will be like,
Yeah, we changed that a bit. We want Diablo 4 to be family friendly.
and honestly I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, 150 dungeons awaits you in-game which will require you to have an internet connection all the time.
That sucks.
I know how bad the reconnect function in Hearthstone is, for example. Blizzard fails in this field until this day, so don't get your hopes high up. Forspoken. One of the most anticipated games on this list and definitely the most expensive one. 80 euros for a normal version of a game is a lot. Publishers want to make this a new normal for every AAA game, but those pioneers of this more expensive pricing will suffer the most, because most people will be like,
I will wait for a sale.
for example, I certainly will. For 80 euros I can buy 200 kilos of potatoes in Lithuania. Game looks great, but not as great as a pyramid of potatoes, that's for sure. Also, I have time, so Steam sale of 2025, here I come. Forspoken is an open-world parkour RPG where you can customize your spells and kill native fauna with them as you uncover secrets of the corrupted land. Everything is nice except the fact that you can't create your own character and have to play as a fixed protagonist. Some people don't like that. For example, I don't mind, but to be fair, I rarely play my games as a woman if I can choose, because I like to merge with my character, become one with him, you know, and it's hard to do that if I want to bang myself instead. Corepunk. Game looks like World of Warcraft and League of Legends had a baby, and I like it. Corepunk instantly hit some nostalgia spots for me, and that is a good thing, although I'm not a big fan of colors. This is a huge MMORPG project. It is in development for about 6 years by a team of more than 100 people. What is this game is all about? It's easy. You choose your class and explore an open world covered by fog of war. Game's world consists from the small desert camps to thriving steampunk cities. Corepunk is full of diverse landscapes, and the best thing is that those landscapes do not restrict your movement. For example, a river is not an obstacle, you can swim in it, except if it's a river of beer. You know, people are drinking that stuff, do not put your sweaty, flabby body in it, do not contaminate it. Although I don't think that you will find a river of beer in there, and that's a shame. Nightingale. This is a shared world survival crafting game set in a Victorian gas lamp universe, so it is fair to say that it is some kind of gaspunk genre. Here you can adventure alone or unite with other players, combine your strengths and skills and face the challenges together. And if your gas canister goes empty, no problem. Just eat some marinated herring, drink some milk on the top and, you know, collect the result. Anyway, here you are stranded beyond your world, cut off by the sudden collapse of the arcane portal network. This catastrophic event has left you and countless others fighting to survive in a labyrinth of mysterious and perilous realms, consisting of creepy forests, harrowing swamps, and shimmering deserts as you restore the portals leading deeper into these magical and dangerous lands. Just be careful with that gas lamp of yours. Don't be near other players when they produce their fuel. And if you like this list, I honestly recommend that you watch the next great video about upcoming RPG games like Skyrim. So many more new good RPGs in there. Don't hesitate, click on it. Also subscribe to my channel for more lists like that. I promise you won't regret. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.